I've made multiple attempts to explain the brilliance of Rascal Season 1, especially the first arc, but this time, I think I've really got it. Episode 1 starts with a flash forward, so I won't count that. Right after the opening, the plot starts immediately. Some random girl is walking around a library in a bunny suit. This is our first obstacle. I'll call it the invisible cycle. Let me introduce you to the new and improved plot cycle. Step 1, the character has an obstacle in the way of their goal. Step 2, the character attacks the problem. Step 3, the character either passes or fails. This fuses my old plot cycles with all my new talk of obstacles and reversals. Mai's obstacle is that she's turning invisible. Her goal is survival. The first scene is her attacking the problem by finding out who can and can't see her. She makes progress when she learns the main character can see her. Because of how she handled the situation, this creates a cycle for Sakuta, where his goal is to find out more about Mai. His obstacle is his lack of information on her. He first attacks his problem by asking his best friend, Kunimi. He gives him a lot of valuable exposition on her. Notice how the exposition came after we were already curious about her. His next attack is saving her from people photographing her. This gives him a way in to talk to her. The talk on the train lets them know more about each other, leading to an in-depth answer about her bunny girl stunt. The curious cycle is passed because Sakuta reached his goal. Additionally, all of this exposition is delivered naturally because they don't know each other. They aren't explaining things that the others should know. They also have great chemistry and the dialogue is funny, ensuring that it isn't a boring exposition dump. The curious cycle leads into the start of the acting cycle when Sakuta brings up her manager and she gets mad. Sakuta wants Mai to get back into acting because he believes that she wants to deep down. Mai is the obstacle because she doesn't want to talk about it. His first attack is giving the unsolicited advice that angered her. That failed, so he starts doing his research into why she quit. Then we get the announcer cycle. This announcer wants to interview Sakuta about his scars, but he doesn't want to talk about it, so he's the obstacle. She shows up at his job, but she fails. Then Sakuta tries to pass his acting cycle by asking her about what she knows. Next, Sakuta works on Mai's invisible cycle by getting knowledge from Futaba. Her problem gets worse and she has to rely on Sakuta, ending episode 1. If you're enjoying this so far, like and subscribe. Episode 2 starts with more of Futaba's explanation. The two leads flirt and mess around until Sakuta attacks the acting obstacle again. It's later revealed that he and the announcer made a trade. In exchange for a photo of his scars, she gave him info on Mai. This completes the announcer cycle with a pass. Sakuta attacks with this info to convince Mai, but he gets slapped. However, he continues with his logic and reasoning until he eventually convinces her, passing the cycle. The announcer cycle helped him pass the acting cycle. Then a reporter cycle arises. If the photo Sakuta gave the reporter is published, reporters will harass him, making it harder for his sister. Mai quickly resolves this by trading the photo for her news. She's returning to showbiz. This passes the reporter cycle. Here, the completion of the announcer cycle created the reporter cycle, and the passing of the acting cycle helped complete the reporter cycle. Next, they have a date. On his way, he gets held up by some girl, which is the inciting incident for the next arc. Then the main duo chills and flirts with great chemistry and interesting exposition until Mai reveals another cycle. The return cycle is about her returning to showbiz. She called her mom/manager to sign a contract, but there's a problem. Mai's invisibility is spreading and now people are forgetting who Mai is. So now, in order to pass the return cycle, they have to pass the invisible cycle. The stakes increase. They attack it by asking people if they remember Mai and going farther distances, but it's hopeless. Finally, a glimmer of hope appears when Kunimi still remembers her. Then he asks Futaba for more clues on solving the problem. In episode 3, the next day, only he and Futaba remember her because everyone else went to sleep. So there's a new sub-cycle, the sleep cycle. If Sakuta falls asleep, he'll forget Mai and they'll both fail the invisible cycle. Futaba explains her theory and research about the adolescence syndrome, which will help Sakuta attack it again. Sleep is the catalyst for the memory loss. Recognition and observation are the solutions. He attacks the invisible cycle by writing about Mai in a journal. Then he attacks the sleep cycle with pills and energy drinks to stay awake. Another cycle arises, midterms. Sakuta uses his awake time from the sleep cycle to study for midterms. Mai feels bad about Sakuta staying up for 3 days, so she turns into an ally and opponent. She helps him in the midterm cycle by giving him lessons, but she hurts him in the sleep cycle by putting sleeping pills in his drink. He fails the sleep cycle when he falls asleep. After he forgets Mai, he reads the journal, but her name is blurred out. Then Futaba gives Sakuta a note, revealing that she came up with a contingency plan in case she forgot. This reminds him that observation is the key. And then we get to the climax. Sakuta is currently attacking the midterm cycle by taking the test, but he sees some words that he learned from Mai's tutoring during her attempt to sabotage the sleep cycle. He finally remembers, and he attacks the invisible cycle by making a huge scene of his love confession to Mai. This forces everyone to acknowledge Mai's existence, passing the invisible cycle. So Mai's help from the midterm cycle and the midterm exam itself helped Sakuta pass the invisible cycle. At the end of this episode, we don't know if Sakuta passed the exam, but it's not important. In the next arc, Mai returns to showbiz, passing her cycle thanks to the invisible cycle being passed. There are two critical things that Rascal does well. The first is the weaving of cycles. Passing one obstacle can create a solution to pass another obstacle. This type of chaining is satisfying because it feels like everything connects. The second is progress. Some obstacles are beaten in one attack, but others require multiple steps that build up to a final attack. For example, Sakuta overcoming the last obstacle was only possible due to Mai's tutoring and Futaba's research, both of which were attacks in another cycle. This makes it feel like every little step of progress actually matters in the long run. It rewards the audience for paying attention. Like I've said in my other videos, juggling multiple obstacles and cycles at the same time results in a more complex plot, especially when the passing of the obstacles interact and help each other. The story has reversals where things go bad, but I didn't feel the need to mention it since it isn't rapid or impressive. It's still a fundamental skill to keep track of though. Here's a little trivia for Rascal fans. This story is part of what I call the helper subgenre, which usually has a main character help a girl go through a character arc so she can solve her external problem. This story almost did that when Mai's arc from the acting cycle was going to get her back into showbiz, thus solving the external invisible problem, but then the problem suddenly got worse. I don't know if this was an intentional subversion, but it seems like it. In conclusion, it's easy to say that Rascal is great because of the witty dialogue and elite chemistry, but that's just surface level appeal. If the story didn't have good fundamentals, the dialogue wouldn't have taken it far. A story with no action and mostly dialogue can be this good because of its understanding of how to write a good plot, its understanding of obstacles, attacks, reversals, and how to juggle and balance them all. Having an insane level of understanding of the fundamentals will take you far in producing quality storytelling. Subscribe for more academic writing videos to improve your analysis and writing.